Can I be honest with you about something? I've never rolled a joint in my entire life.
Okay.
Only blunts my whole life.
That's all right.
And I have a friend, shout out to Brandon Began. I hang out with him. When he used to live with me, he would smoke backwoods with me all day, every day. And then, we stopped hanging out all the time. He moved in with his girlfriend. He went through some changes in his weed smoking career where now he smokes raw papers. He smokes spliffs, very tiny little spliffs.
Whatever he likes.
But, then he's coming over to my house. We're watching Game of Thrones together. And all of a sudden, I'm smoking these splits with him. And I'm starting to realize that the way I smoke weed right now is kind of illogical. Because, rolling a blunt that has, 2 or 3 grams of fucking weed in it, at the end of the day, just smoking that, when I could be smoking a smaller amount of actual weed and potentially like doing that a couple times throughout the day, using way less weed, but like actually being able to enjoy smoking more, kind of makes sense to me. It's kind of, for the first time in my life, made me think like, I maybe should try getting away from the backwoods.
Okay. Now I got to teach you a little more.
Teach me, yeah.
All right. So there's nothing... I will not say that there's something wrong with smoking tobacco. That's not my place. My job is only to inform and teach.
Well, I seen your video today, or was it a couple days ago, that was basically about what you're really smoking when you're smoking blunts. Yeah.
So I can tell you,
on game. I
made a backwood type product once called Trailblazers. Yeah, I've made a lot of blunts over my career.
Oh, okay.
We started off hard in blunts. I smoked a blunt with Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys.
Wow.
In like '89 or something ridiculous.
Which was also my graffiti name when I was 12, was Ad Rock.
Really?
Adam. I mean, I knew there was a rapper named Ad Rock. I'm like, man, my name's Adam too. I'm Ad Rock, the graffiti artist now.
Okay, so
that didn't last that long, thank God.
I kind of know. It'd be kind of cool, man. You can tag this wall. This wall's really plain right now. I keep looking at it like,
Ad Rock. Oh, I should have never admitted to that nickname, yeah.
Oh, that's going to be great. Okay, listen, Ad Rock. So what I learned about blunts in the 80s, even like 89, this kind of time, was we were using blunts because the material was so fucking shitty. Brought up from Mexico or God only knows where, and it tasted so bad that you were doing anything you could to make it more palatable. You really were just trying to, and you were also trying to cover up odors, and you were doing things like that, but it was really just about making it where I could smoke this Mexican gross.
Right.
Like ridiculous.
I was in Argentina a couple years ago, and the weed was so fucking disgusting that we were putting it in the blunt and still could.
Okay, but you understand the blunt was a crutch for bad. Yeah. So if somebody is smoking, to me, blunts are great for really terrible material. There's still a big market for that. You got like low shelf. Dude, there it is, man.
It's going to cover up the shitty taste.
It's also, why would you want to taste something if it tastes like shit?
Yeah.
With a really good paper, you're making where you can taste what you're smoking. Why would you want to do that if your stuff tastes like shit? Like, oh, great, now the shit tastes even more like shit. No. So I understand blunt culture, and I know why we began smoking blunts and where it started.
Right.
Nowadays, with what we have access to, there's just no room, realistically, for blunts. We don't need it with what we're smoking. Maybe in Argentina, but not all of Argentina. I got friends down there that can smoke, and they get really good stuff.
Oh, they do have good stuff. Okay.
But you got to find it.
If I went back to Argentina, I feel like maybe I could figure out where the good stuff was. This was a long time before I really had too many connects. So we were on that brick weed.
Yeah, enjoy.
So gross.
Be great for a blunt. There it is.
Yeah.
Brickweed blunt. There it is.
If somebody brought that around right now, I would kick them out. I might shoot them. I don't know.
So, tobacco. When I can only talk to you about my own products. If I talk about someone else's, then great. This thing becomes deposition. All right. When I made Trailblazers, I learned real fast that what happens to a truly natural leaf cigar, which is what those things are, is mold forms. It's just a matter of what level of mold. What are you going to put on the product to try to stop the mold from forming? What chemical are you going to use? And then you end up smoking that chemical, of course. So you have a choice now. How much mold you want or how much chemicals you want, at least on my product. So we're trying to reduce that. We'll use less of the anti-mold, the antifungal, the anti-whatever it is.
Right.
But now you have more mold. I'm trying to basically explain to you there's something on the natural leaf that might not be necessarily natural. And just because something is natural does not mean it's okay.
Right.
Uranium is natural. Mold is natural. And that's okay. I don't want to smoke that stuff. Nicotine itself is really just a natural pesticide that the plant developed in order to kill bugs that were landing on it and to stop you and I from eating it over eons. And then when we happen to ingest nicotine, it has a little bit of an effect on us, man, you know?
Yeah. That's what I'm in it for. I'm trying to get nicked.
Yeah, you can, but if you get too much nick, you can die.
Yeah.
There's no amount of hemp you could smoke that would kill you realistically.
Right.
There's not that much tobacco if you want to, or nicotine you got to ingest in order to get it wrong. There's people that have died all the time from e-juice overdoses, or kid smokes, or does it, or someone grabs a bottle and gets it in there, or something goes wrong in their vape pen. They can get really sick and maybe die.
Damn.
It's a very dangerous thing. But you know what? The danger isn't the important part. What I really look at it is like this. It's a thing that that goes back to my time when I used to be friends with Jack Herrer. You're really just trying to smoke the plant, man. Just enjoy the plant. One way or another, the more you fuck with it, the more you blast it, the more you're adding things onto it, you're changing the effect that plant was meant to have on you.
Right.
All life on this planet is connected. We all come realistically, sorry for super religious people, they have to find a way to make this go within their religion, that's okay, that we all come from a few cells that split and split and split a quadrillion, zillion, quadrillion times. We are related to that plant. That coffee you're drinking, you're related to it. Your DNA is really close to that coffee, man.
Shout out Starbucks.
Yeah. And so hemp or tobacco or any of these things we are very related to. And that is why it can have an actual physiological effect on us. That's why it can interact with our cells and send a signal to tell our cells to do something, or the plant itself can do something to our cells.
Right.
That's what medicine is really all about. If you change it, if you add in a toxin, maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you're going to change the effect. Jack Herrer had this belief that at all times as we sit here, and as every single person that's listening to this podcast right now has cancer in their bodies. That was his belief, that we all have cancer in us. And I think it might even be true.
Right.
And what your body is always doing is keeping it in control. There's a process called, I think it's called angiogenesis, where it cuts off blood supplies, and it's always just fighting it and keeping it away.
Right.
The beautiful hemp plant has at least 500 active compounds that we know about. Why are you going to blast some of them away? Maybe the one you blasted away or the one you fucked with the tobacco was the one you needed to stop that cancer from going inside of you right now. Now, this was just Jack. And he was one of those guys that would talk to you while thumping you on the chest with his hand like that the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I love that when you see that.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
I used to know this lady when I did a paper route, and whenever she would talk to you, she would always have this like old romance novel, and she would whack you in the arm while with the book.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? Don't touch me. Yeah, but okay, continue.
I'm just trying to say you should enjoy it as naturally as you realistically can.
Right.
And if you happen to be smoking something that tastes good, why wouldn't you want to fucking taste it? No one wants to eat a fucking vegan steak with a condom on their tongue. Why are you going to wrap it in a fucking blunt? It's going to change the taste, not in a good way. Blunts do not taste good. Tobacco does not taste good naturally, man. I know. I'm a tobacco guy.
Right.
I've smoked so much tobacco. I've sold so much tobacco. I really understand that stuff.
You don't smoke it anymore at all?
No, I wouldn't say I don't smoke it at all.
Okay.
I even grow tobacco. I grow it around my tomato plants because it keeps the aphids and shit from eating my tomatoes.
Nice.
They bite the tobacco plant, they die.
Right.
It's a great natural pesticide. It really is.
Right.
It's really effective for that.
But you try to stay away from it for the most part now? Or?
Yeah, for the most part, I don't smoke it anymore.
Okay. You ever have any issues with it or anything? You just slowly realize this is
When I
not
had
healthy?
my head shops, that kind of thing, I brought in all these cool exotic cigarettes, and I used to enjoy smoking these amazing clove cigarettes from Bali, or Kudos, Indonesia.
Right.
And then I would enjoy each one. And then one day I realized I was outside smoking without enjoying it. I had to smoke.
You were just
and I was
addicted,
smoking it.
yeah.
And I was standing out there and suddenly realized, like, oh, fuck, I'm addicted. And that was the moment I put it down. And it's like, okay, I'm not allowed to smoke one for 30 days, 30-day challenge. And I didn't for 30 days. Then it was like, okay, I'll allow myself one a day. And I kept myself within limits and this kind of thing. Because I know it creeps up on you real quick.
Do you feel like self-control is like a big thing in terms of like weed? Do you ever feel like you're like addicted to weed? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, it can be hard for me to go, sometimes I'll go on a trip, I'm in Japan for a couple of days and I don't have weed, and you feel it. It's not.
How do you feel it?
I don't know. It's just in my brain. It's like, God, I'm kind of pissed off. I wish I could smoke right now. But then again, I only smoke blunts, so it's like maybe I'm not missing the weed. Maybe I'm missing the tobacco.
Yeah. I believe it's been proven that you can't realistically get addicted to cannabis. I don't think you can.
Yeah.
You might miss it,
But
it's
I
not
mean,
something you're actually addicted to.
It's not like I'm addicted to, there's a lot of things that I'm like basically addicted to, even if they're not physically addicted. I'm addicted to working, even though I'm not like physically, like there's nothing that,
Because you get a chemical rush from like sitting here with me right now. You're getting a little bit of adrenaline. You're also getting a bunch of knowledge, and we're enjoying ourselves. Of course, it's addictive.
If I didn't do interviews for a couple of weeks, then I would definitely be I'd be jonesing for it. A couple days even.
And that's okay. That's not really an addiction, though.
Yeah.
When we say addiction, then that's like nicotine, man. That's one of the problems with blunts is they're so fucking addictive. They literally are addictive. And they want to make you smoke more of them, so it's a toxin that makes you want more of it. Oh, great.
Why do you think that blunts have become so popular when there are so many other options out there? There's more options than ever, and people have it seems like a huge percentage of people have sort of focused on that.
In that culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Early on, when stuff tasted like shit, it was a great way to cover up shitty stuff. It still is a great way to cover up shitty stuff. What's happened more recently is that is a social media thing. Where it's like, I want to be the bad boy. I want to be tough. I want to be like, some tough rapper out there. I want to be like him.
Yeah.
And therefore, I'm going to smoke this because that's what he's smoking. knowing full well that it's fucking bad for me. That's the point, man. No different than James Dean smoking a cigarette in the 50s. We humans, we tell you, man, we keep repeating the same shit over and over again. We've known that cigarette smoking has been bad for how long? And we still smoke cigarettes. Blunts is just the modern day cigarette. It's that same fucking thing.
Do you think it's a phallic thing in a way?
No, that's kind of cool though. I
Like
didn't think about that.
Someone smoking a blunt, it's like a big black dick. And then somebody, if you're smoking like a little rolled thing, it's kind of like a little white dick. I mean, you know, the guys who are getting paid good money to do porn are the guys with the giant black dicks. I think in a weird way, it's a phallic thing. You know, it's like if I'm sitting here and I'm smoking a little white thing and you got a big, meaty 3 fucking gram blunt.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see how from a flexing perspective that, you know, that's kind of like impressive looking. And with rappers, flexing is pretty much the main thing.
Yeah, that's true. But in my world, that little tiny little thing I got right here is probably 3 times more powerful than whatever's in that.
Healthier, you're taking it in a smoother way, yeah.
Yeah, but I also know. But you know, that's also part of like, you know, I used to joke around with people about my dog. They'd make fun of I got this little adorable little Chihuahua mutt, and they'd be picking on me. And some dude wrote, and he wrote the funniest thing. I still use it to this day. He's like, you would have a little fairy Tinkerbell rat dog, you gay fuck. And I'm like, Tinkerbell rat dog? That's really cute.
That's a cool
I still
name,
call her Tinkerbell rat dog to this day. You know? But then I realized, I'm like, I don't need a pit bull, man. I don't need the pit bull to protect me. I'm fine. I can protect myself, man. I'm totally okay.
Definitely.
I can have a dog like this where you need that pit bull, the big scary thing over there. I don't need that, man. I got this little fucking Tinkerbell rat dog, and I'm good with it. It's no different maybe with smoking. I know what's in here. I know this is strong as fuck. I know it's stronger than whatever you got in your fucking blunt over there. This is fucking good. I know I'm going to taste it better. I really know. And so maybe it's an issue of knowledge. I try to teach. The problem with me teaching about blunts is I'm still involved in the tobacco business, and I can't be too much of a hypocrite. The blunts that I make taste a lot better than the ones you've been smoking, but I don't want you to smoke my stuff. We still sell it. I still make it. My job is to work for you and to make you the best one that's ever existed. If you're smoking blunts, I got to make you a better blunt. I got to make you one with less chemicals on it. I got to make you one that tastes better. I got to make it like in a way that you enjoy the experience even more. I would just prefer greatly, personally, that you went to paper.
Right.
So it's fucked up for me. I can't really go too hard against it because I'm just being a hypocrite.
If I get good at rolling spliffs, it's over. I'm not smoking blunts.
You don't have to get good at rolling it. I got machines that can roll it for you so easy.
Well, that's a good idea too.
Yeah.
I need a machine.
Yeah.
I feel like my fingers are too big for the paper. I've just never really been able to wrap my head around it.
Ro and I will sit down after this, and we will teach you how to roll.
That's what I'm saying. I need to learn from the best.
It's all about the tuck.
I feel like it took me like 5 years to really get good at rolling backwards.
Yeah. Well, then you're going to get really good at rolling. You're going to get really good at rolling paper then, man.
Definitely. Hey, let me ask you this. When did you sort of, have you always been sort of the same type of person, or has Instagram caused you to sort of emphasize certain elements of your personality? Because you have like a very like big, energetic persona on there. When did you realize that you could make the brand bigger by becoming a spokesperson for your own brand?
See, I didn't think about it like that. Every time, during this whole interview, you keep asking me like business questions, and I keep realizing that like I don't really go that way. Like that's not the way that I do my thing.
I overanalyze.
Yeah, maybe. I'm more. It's for me. It was just like what I do is like, you know, we were talking about this ring earlier, right? Okay.
Which is another bizarre invention that you guys came up with that I'm very impressed by. Now I think I got it in my pocket.
Off my finger. Yeah. It's all right. All right. So this ring, simple thing, right? Let's look at this ring. The purpose of the ring. Yeah, we got Wonder Twins, bitch.
Yeah.
Form of a giant raw. It's right. So this is all about cup cough in the club, right? We're all hanging around. Someone's got a cold and they're lying about it. They're saying they're not sick. And we're passing the raw around, and then I smoke it and I get sick. And I'm like, wait. And it's happening over and over again. So now the raw goes in here, and the end of this, we smoke. Okay, no more cup cough. That's cool, and that's great that we make this thing. But it's like a tree falling in the wood that nobody hears. What good does it do if I don't teach everyone about it? If I don't show them what this is?
Right.
And then it's like, how do I show it to them? Well, what I realized was the stuff that I make myself or the things that I create, I'm really genuinely excited about it. And I show them, oh my God, I turn back into, I call it 5-year-old Josh, probably 15-year-old Josh. And I'm sitting there giggling and laughing for real, being like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever. Look, it does this, it does this. Check it out. Next time you're in the club, you ain't gonna get sick. And that's just me being real, laughing. And I'm enjoying the fuck out of myself. I really am. And I came to realize that, holy shit, when I do those kind of videos, people really like it because they're picking up on how excited I really was to make it.
Right.
And some of my products that I'm incredibly excited about are ones that are actually pretty simple. This thing I made called a loader, because it solved a problem that I was having for so long of how to fill a cone. And I finally made a simple little $5 device that makes where you can fill your cones like that. And I was so fucking happy about it. And I was so fucking thrilled that when I put it out, I'm jumping up and down, literally showing you, this is the fucking coolest thing in the fucking world. Because I'm so happy. I finally did it. I finally made it.
Right.
And I guess I'm talking to myself maybe, or I'm talking to 15-year-old Josh or something like that. But this is really the way that I get when it's something that I really care about. And I'm just so happy to show it to you, man, you know?